Guys, welcome back to another episode of Lengua de la Liga. As you can see here on the screen, today we're doing team grades for every single Spanish side. And these team grades are going to factor in all the competitions from the season. This is not just where you finished in La Liga. We're factoring the Copa. We're factoring in European competition if a club participated in those. And we're going to get into this. Before we do, though, if you guys like videos about the Spanish top flight, make sure you're subscribed. We've been dropping a series of end of the season videos covering La Liga. We have a few left dropping on the channel, including our MVP, the final MVP ranking for this La Liga season, which should be a good one. Stick around for that. Drop a like on the video and let us know if we have any grades that you strongly disagree with down below in the comments. Michael, I guess you're the conductor here today. Are we starting with Alaves?
Of course we are starting with Alaves. We're going alphabetical order today.
Let's do it.
We're going alphabetical order.
I think it actually is alphabetical order.
It is. Made it easy for us.
Are we just going C? Alaves?
You got to bake in the expectation. Bake in the expectation for Alaves.
That, and also, last year they finished 10th. So I don't know if you compare.
That's actually a fair fucking point.
Year over year, dude. They finished mid-table, and this year they were teetering with, they might get relegated. So
I feel like 10th is phenomenal.
For them, yeah,
Alaves,
last year.
though.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, I think the expectation was just survive again. Like, there's no way anyone in the Alaves board was like, guys, make a push for Europe.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's no way.
So
Europa League or bust.
It's C, definitely, then, I would say.
Yeah,
I think
I would say C.
For sure.
Okay, all right, there we go. I don't think they did a damn thing in the Cups either.
No.
Nothing really in the Cups.
Shout out Kike, though, man.
Garcia.
I was like, shout out Kike, bro. Still back in goals, man. Still back in goals.
Exactly.
I mean, to be fair, though, at the beginning of the season, it wasn't looking the greatest for them. They were like 19th. So they got relegated.
By everybody.
Everybody, bro. They were not looking good. And then, when they picked up that victory against Sociedad on match 33, they were good. They were safe. Yeah. So it's an average season for them.
Yeah, shout out Sociedad for making every bad team seem average.
There we go.
No, we'll get to them later. Okay, Athletic Club. This one's interesting.
It is.
It depends if you're an optimist or a pessimist, I think.
Well, let's ask Michael how he feels about it.
To be honest, we got Champions League football for the first time in over a decade. Obviously, the Europa League. Oh, gee. I just get nightmares think of the Europa League. And then when I watched the final, the Summer Mes, my heart just sunk. And I thought, this is the sort of football we're supposed to witness in the Summer Mes in the Europa League final. And Athletic Club are not there. That's what sort of heartbroken me. The Copa del Rey, it doesn't matter. We won it last year. What was the objective? Get top 4, go far in the Europa League, try and win it. I think it was a B+ season. I don't know what you guys think. I think it was a pretty decent season. If you guys give C, I wouldn't be mad, but also balancing both competitions and knowing that Athletic Club don't have the deepest of squads, I really think this was actually a quite decent season for them. So B+, back to Champions League football, baby.
C is crazy.
I
think C is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it just depends on what your
objective
was for this season. Do you think they could have won Europa League? But at least they made it to the semifinals, albeit a very embarrassing fashion losing.
Yeah,
very embarrassing fashion. But I don't know if you can dock like a full letter grade for a bad semifinal. No. I think B is they're like flirting between A and B. I think B is fair, maybe even A. I don't know. They made the semifinal of the Europa League and finished.
But
that's pretty damn good.
I mean, they lost 7-1 though. I cannot get over the fact 7-1 to Manchester.
And not even just that. I think we're going to say the A. It's because, in my opinion, at that point, they would have exceeded the expectation. Which exceeded would have been, hey, they're probably finishing above one of the big 3 in the table. They may be.
You're making the final.
Getting to the Europa League final. Maybe you don't win it, but you get to the Europa League final. And I still think, collectively as a team, I think B is fair. There's some individuals in there that maybe didn't step up as much as they should have this season. Hashtag Nico Williams. But other players did. I mean, Sansa had a great season, barring some of the injuries. Iñaki had, I think, actually a fairly positive season considering his track record as a whole. So, I mean, like bright spots all the way around. I would say B's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going B?
Let's go B then.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going B for Athletic Club.
All right.
Tasty.
I'm be honest, straight C.
Jack, I knew this shit
was straight average.
Straight C.
Remember the Champions League as well, people.
If you don't play against Real Madrid in the first knockout, do you not feel like you make it a little bit further and this season's a little bit better?
Perhaps, but that ain't what happened. We did play them. We lost on pens. We lost to the worst Real Madrid of the last decade.
Yeah.
In the round of 16 of the Champions League. We could have beaten Arsenal, but we didn't. We fumbled. We lost to Getafe. We failed to beat Espanol twice. I think, from my perspective, anytime that Atleti doesn't win a trophy, I think the ceiling for the season grade is a B, unless we lost in the Champions League final. If you lose in the Champions League final and you finish second La Liga, it's an A season. But if we're not winning the Copa del Rey and we're not winning the Champions League and we kind of gassed out hard in March of the La Liga title race, it's a C. And dude, how much money did we spend?
Especially, thank you.
How much money?
How many transfers? Yeah,
that's the biggest point. That's the biggest point I'll concede. 100%.
Yeah, C+.
Guys, do you guys know how many points we finished with this season?
It's 76 or something.
Yeah. Well, you did beat Girona today, so 70.
Yeah, 4-0, bro. 4-0 against Girona. Come on, man.
Yeah, so I've got another stat padding session going on here. That mofo, man. I swear to God.
We saying Michel out after today's result?
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know how many. I don't know how many managers are doing a better job. I don't know.
Here's the thing: 76, and you could end up 12 points behind Barcelona when the season ends. 12 points behind. Well,
here's my
leader is a lot.
Here's my point: how many points did we have last season? 76.
Oh, really?
76. So we spent all that goddamn money
to finish
all the hype. 2025. We spent weeks at the top of the table, and we did not finish even 1 point above what we did last year. It's a C, straight C.
Damn. Fair. That's a fair point, actually. Yeah, the money and I guess the lack of progression season over season. But I still think those signings were a little bit longer term. Some of that money should have been spent on defense, though. Let's be real, bro. Like some of that needed to be.
Well, I think that's what they're going to address this summer, though.
Yeah,
God willing, it is this summer. Yeah.
So, Cote Romero, straight June 1st. Here we go.
That is the most Atleti signing of all time, by the way.
Oh, you know it's happening.
And we will win a trophy. We win a trophy if we sign Cote Romero. We win a trophy if we sign Cote Romero next season.
Okay, that's clipped at 7 minutes 50 seconds, people.
You can bookmark this.
Is that 100 mil on 2 players?
This summer? Baena and Kuti?
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yes.
Another 100 million summer.
Oh, no. Next season, you have to win the trophy. Yeah, you have to win the trophy next season.
Yeah.
Have to win. Unless.
How much patience do you give Simeone? Like, if you don't win anything next year.
Well, he's consistently getting them top 4. What do you want him to do? Like,
no, I know, but I'm saying, I'm asking the actual Atleti fan, like, how do you view him as a fan?
I need the context, right? Like, if we don't win a trophy because we make the Copa del Rey final and goddamn Getafe beat us and they lift the trophy, then that's a huge L. If we lose on penalties to Barcelona in the final, it's like, it's like, I don't know how much you can get mad at Simeone for that. It depends. If Feyenoord eliminate us from the Champions League, we got problems.
I think you need to exercise your demons against Real Madrid. That's what I think. I think Simeone needs to find a way to get one over his rivals. Like that will seem like a win and not a trophy, but it'll seem like a massive win all by itself because the manner in which they went out this season, it's just. I mean, I think it hurt. It legitimately hurt.
Once they lost that Copa del Rey semifinal, they were done.
Mentally, yeah.
Mentally, they were done.
Yeah.
Remember, they out of the Champions League, out of La Liga, out of the Copa del Rey, all in the span of 2 weeks. Their season was done there.
Yeah. But the one against Madrid in the Champions League hurt. I think I hadn't seen Atleti fans feel like that. Like, dude, that one fucking hurt.
Well, especially in the fashion that they lost with Alvarez.
Yeah, the double kick, everything about that, bro.
The Hubble telescope
crazy.
still
Real
has
Madrid
not
black
been
magic.
able to see the double touch.
Wild.
It's unbelievable. And you know what? This is the last thing I'll say, because I don't want us to just go on and on about Atleti. If you look at how we played against the top teams in La Liga, let's just go the top 6. Split the series with Betis, 1-1. Barcelona, we beat you guys. Was it 1 win, 1 loss?
Yes, it was split
in the league. In the league. Okay, split it with that. Double on Athletic Club. 2 draws against Real Madrid. Villarreal, we drew 2-2 the first time. Did we beat them the second time? I feel like we did beat them the second time that we played. Damn. Maybe we can fact check that. The reason we dropped out of the league is because we didn't beat Espanol. We're dropping points to Getafe. We're dropping points to Leganes.
We lost to Osasuna.
Palmas are beating us. Yeah. Lost to Osasuna. Like against the weaker sides this season, we were shit.
So
not even bad. We were shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's why you're gonna go get it at Baena to break down the low blocks. So
God willing, I have nothing else to say about that.
Like, can we move on, please?
God, it was what could have been. What could have been this
fair
season.
enough.
Mid AF. Got it.
Okay, Barcelona B. I feel like that's fair.
Interesting.
I mean, they should have won the Champions League.
You didn't make.
That's actually a fair shout. That's actually a fair shout. We should have won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Expectation was the quadruple. You get 3.
Expectation was the quadruple. Somebody pull up that image of ESPN
the percentage
before the season started.
I knew you were gonna
Bro, they legitimately gave us and Atleti combined 3%. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Wait, 3% for what?
To win the league.
La Liga odds at the beginning of the season, like before the first game, they flashed a graphic on the screen. It was like Madrid 97%, Atleti 2%, Barca 1%. I was like, bro, what is this? And yeah, we sit here now. So I wouldn't say quadruple being the expectation, but by the time we got to February, it kind of was like it was leaning in that direction. But
A-.
Yeah, man, unfortunate. The Champions League hurt this season. It hurt. I'll be honest.
No, you said A-.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, this is an S. We don't even have S on here.
This is an A++. What do you want about?
Is the same team as last season. I wonder how Xavi feels, man. Again, hindsight's 2020, but he's got to feel like holy shit.
He's probably saying I built the foundation. Is what he's saying.
Exactly.
Probably.
I gave Lamine his start. Yeah. That's what Koeman is screaming from the mountaintops with guys like Pedri. So
no, Barcelona were insane
Phenomenal.
this season. Everywhere. Owned the Madrid derby, the El Clasico. Yeah,
which will be much closer next season. I'm telling you. I think El Clasico might be back. I think with Xabi Alonso taking over, some players leaving, I think it'll be back next season 100%.
Well, it literally couldn't be any more one-sided.
Yeah. No shit. Yeah. So we need it back, bro. I need I don't know. I need the bad blood of yesteryear. I need the height of Ronaldo Messi era in.
You will never get.
Then you also need the side characters, though. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
I agree with Michael.
You need a Mourinho. You need a Pep. You need those sort of characters. Now you got Xabi Alonso, tiki taka, and Hansi Flick is just gegenpressing all the time. You're not going to get the characters. They're just all about tactic and playing football. Hug it out. You're not going to get that bad blood anymore.
I agree. Not the manager bad blood, because that reached like the pinnacle of football, in my opinion.
Oh, pinnacle, bro.
We're never going to see another manager poke another manager in the eye ever again. Literally. But I still think, like, player-wise, like someone. I don't know if it's going to be Mbappe versus Lamine Yamal, but I think there's going to be someone on Madrid's side that will emerge. I don't know who it will be that will to challenge Lamine Yamal.
Hendrick, yep.
The boy? No, Arda Güler.
Sir Bobby.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. But someone's gonna emerge, bro. It's not gonna be just like this one kid leading the whole rivalry. I think there's gonna be a personality that emerges.
Okay,
maybe
Real Betis.
I don't know.
Betis.
Tale of two halves of a season.
European final.
Hold on. What was the expectation for you guys coming into this season for Betis? Realistic.
Europa League 6-7 around there.
Yeah. So they kind of hit it. And then on top of that, like in the winter when they got those transfers too, that was pretty surprising. I didn't think that they were going to pull those, And
then just see them in a European final.
And to make it all the way to the final, yeah.
Their first ever European. I think, bro, they made history. It's got to be an A.
Yeah, I think it has 100%. To be an A. But they saved themselves from the depths, bro. Like
oh yeah, for sure.
It could have been a D.
Yeah, it could have been a D.
Halfway through the season, it was a D.
Shout out to Lo Celso for putting the team on his back the first half of the fucking season.
Yeah, and then he fell off a cliff in the second half.
Yeah, man, hasn't been.
Did all the carrying and then broke his back. Okay, gotcha.
His back fell apart at that.
He is the LaMelo Ball of Real Betis.
He's the LaMelo Ball.
But then you got Tyrese Francisco Alarcón Isco to carry the team on his back again.
Dude, he might be the number one MVP this season. I'm not even kidding, dude.
His stats are actually insane. If anybody has gone back to look at his individual stats, they're crazy.
Also, how many player of the matches did he win this year?
Yeah,
like a third of the
all of them.
Yeah,
all of them.
It's crazy.
Every single
so
one.
It really doesn't matter if Betis lose the European final. It doesn't matter. They won't drop down to B for you guys. No matter.
No, it doesn't matter for me.
No
No,
bullshit,
doesn't
guys. I'm
matter.
not even trolling. Isco could probably jump into Real Madrid's lineup again and start right now at that point.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. Celta's an interesting one.
Mm.
No, they exceeded expectations, I think.
It's B for
yeah.
sure. Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
like
No, I'm not
A.
thinking
Yeah,
like
yeah.
D. I was thinking A. I was thinking.
Oh,
thinking
okay,
A.
okay. I was like, I know we're not going to slide ourselves though, right? Like they legitimately
no,
finished
no.
like what was it last year, 13th or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in a relegation battle at
They were
times
bad.
Maybe
They were
even
bad.
lower. Yeah. It
with
was
Rafa
really
Benitez.
bad.
Ooh, this is
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, B plus, A minus. I'm like teetering between the two.
They had
I
some
think it's an A minus.
great
I actually think
games
it's
against
A,
the
bro.
big teams.
Yeah, I feel like it's A.
I can see that. Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Bro,
I'm
we
okay with A.
How many individual standouts did we
Mhm.
have like in our top 3 positionally video? It was really only guys like Mingueza.
Mingueza.
That's
But
about
still, like when would Celta ever have players in those conversations at the end of the
Yeah.
season?
That's fair.
You know,
Yeah,
I guess
I mean,
maybe
even you
Aspas
look
in
at
his
the-
height, but like, I mean, I don't know.
When did De La Torre leave? Did he leave?
This past season,
January.
he moved
Last
to
in
season.
the
MLS.
January.
mid-season though, yeah.
Yeah.
They did
I
not
can't wait,
have a
'cause
good
they're-
transfer window.
No, because they lost Jakob Strand Larsen, who went to Wolves, and
Yeah.
they're going to get him back though. So
Yeah.
let's see
And they
what
lost
out there.
Celta are good,
who's
man.
they lost another attacker.
Mm.
Another attacker. Who?
DA.
Dia?
Ooh.
I looked at
Abdoulaye Dia? No.
Yeah, Dia. Yes.
Wait,
He went to
what?
Italy, did he not?
Lazio? Yeah, I think he went to
Yeah.
Lazio. That's the one you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yep.
And they brought in Borja Iglesias on loan. And I know he's like a La Liga goat, but like, you know, they bled a little bit in the window. Then they lose De La Torre.
I know.
Even though he was a fringe player.
I also know Barca
50.
fans hate Iago Aspas, dude. It's like
Yeah,
Iago
fuck that
Aspas
dude,
is your
bro.
ghost.
Another 10-goal season, bro. Another 10-goal season. The GOAT, man.
Forty, I had fucking 11, bro. Three of them came against Barca, but like, I mean,
I know.
like
Who
solid.
doesn't hate Iago Aspas?
I know.
He
He
like
just,
torments everybody.
yeah.
No,
It's
but
not great.
low key, like there's a special place in hell in my mind for Aspas,
Wow.
for Alduriz, for Iñaki Williams, even Bilbao has a couple more players than Celta over the years, but yeah, man, fuck those guys. They become
Jose
prime
hates
R9.
every player who's good for other teams.
Exactly.
I hate it because they
I
don't
told him in
show up
Barcelona.
against anybody fucking
Except for
else half the
you
time,
guys,
bro.
yeah.
Like, become
And then he's
prime
like, we should buy
R9
them.
against Barcelona. Try against someone else, bro. Please, holy shit.
Sandro with Las Palmas.
Yes, bro. Good lord. But he's former Barca, so I get the.
I know.
Yeah.
man.
Or even Munich.
R.I.P.
same
Las
shit.
Palmas.
R.I.P. Las Palmas. We'll get there.
Okay.
They
All
bottled,
right.
bro. They bottled.
Espanol.
Oof.
They
See?
almost
Man.
bottled. I was watching that shit. By the way, anybody see Joan Garcia get
Bro,
killed?
man.
Superman, bro. This
Oh
man,
my God. He saved their asses.
Barca's not going
Again.
to sign him now. There's no way. Espanol will never let us touch a player who's quite.
Oh, no.
literally
Did you see what he
untouchable, dude.
posted today on Instagram? Him
No, I
kissing the badge.
Yeah, Barca
He ain't
wants
going.
him, but that's not going to happen. So it's
Petty
GG's.
No, it's not going to happen.
Nope.
There will be a civil war here in Barcelona if that
I
happens.
was
I'll
going
tell
to
you
say
that right now.
what?
I will stay home.
That'd be
Yeah.
worse than Figo.
He's probably moving abroad. I don't see him moving anywhere in Spain.
Yeah.
He's probably moving abroad.
I see him going to Aston
Yeah,
Villa.
he-
That's where
I
he's
can see him
going.
going to the Prem. Yeah.
God, that's a banger pickup for Villa.
It
That's
is.
so
Yep.
good.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I take Debo at Barca. No bullshit, but that's just me.
Did you see his
Hmm.
what happened today? The red card. Costing Villa
No, I did
Champions
not.
League.
I'll
No,
still
that was-
take it.
that was
I'll
like
still take
Troy
it.
Polamalu tackle
It
right there when he
was.
took Hoyland. I was like, what is
Did they
this guy
lose?
doing? Yep.
Yeah, they
they're not-
lost.
they're
It was a red
United.
card. It was a red card. They lost 2-0.
And they just needed like
So-
a point to make Champions League or something like that.
They're Europa now,
Yeah.
and Chelsea passed them.
Chelsea beat
Yep.
Yeah, they
Four-
beat Forest. So yeah.
Holy
know.
hell,
Chelsea fans are gonna be
Yeah.
insufferable next season.
dude! And everybody's gonna blame Unai Emery and say that he's trash. I already know what the timeline's saying right now.
Oh
I
yeah.
know.
Oh yeah. You know what's gonna happen.
Man gets nowhere.
I think for
Anyways,
Espanyol, it's just been an average season for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I would.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's a
see,
C.
It has
See.
to be a C. Because where they finished last year.
I mean, it only
Or
came
they
in
were- they got
last
promoted.
last
They got
game of the
promoted.
season.
Yeah, they
guys.
got
They
promoted.
get promoted.
All right. So
Yeah.
if you stay, then yeah, C.
I'll put him at the bottom of C though. No bullshit. I mean, like it has
C-minus?
to be, bro. It has to be.
I mean, dude, they finished above. No, hold on, I ain't even gonna say it. Let's Getafe. Let's Getafe next.
Getafe is also
They're
like,
like a C plus.
yeah, like right on the money. Like it's kind of like
they were like in contention for the European spots, and then I think they went on like a 6-7 game losing streak, and then at the end of the season they kind of picked up some points. But it's another Getafe season. These guys are just Sunderland.
Last year, 43 points. This year, 42 points.
You know where it started though, the downslide this season was when fucking Bordalas decided to bench or like fully rotate against Atleti
in the Copa del Rey, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 5-0.
That was weird.
Yeah, after that it was like a downward slide of just results. I was like,
yeah, I was about to say the fact that they made the quarterfinal is actually pretty impressive, but they've had way better table finishes. Like they finished top half a few times in a row.
Yeah, they qualified for Europe.
So I don't know. You can look at that and be like, they were overperforming then. That was never the expectations. I don't know. Y'all want to go B or C for them?
C.
Yeah,
there's another average hit off season.
Just
if
average.
you ask me, I'll put them as low as possible. So don't ask me.
Okay. If they had made the semifinals, you think B?
Yeah, then it would be B minus for me.
Okay. All right.
But he basically just threw away the Copa del Rey in that quarterfinal. I thought it was disgusting.
Yeah,
that was weird.
Coward.
I appreciated it, but it didn't make any sense.
No.
Okay. Girona?
Oh, come on, dude.
Bro.
Compared to last year?
Are they our first fat L?
That's a fat L.
I was gonna put him at
I don't think it's a fat L, by the way. I think it's a D.
Let's hear it. Why?
Okay. Okay.
Because you saw what they did in the transfer window. What was the expectation? What was the expectation in the Champions League? We all knew they were going to finish outside the top 24. When you're signing guys like Miovski, Artur, and these sort of players, you're not bringing out the quality in your team. You're going to get worse. So I knew they would finish like below 10. That was my expectation for Girona. I had no aspirations for them. They play good football. Michel wants to play good football, but they're going to get destroyed because they have no quality. Fat L would be if they got relegated. Then I'll be like, yeah, Michel, you might just be a fraud at this point. But they survived. They still played some sexy football. They got destroyed sometimes in the La Liga. Champions League was even worse with their performances. I just think it's a D.
But 1 point clear of relegation.
After being a Champions League
trash, though.
The team is trash.
Terrible.
That big ass drop off.
Like, that's why they're a fat L, man.
What
kind of club doesn't reinforce after selling that many good players?
100%. I agree with Jose. I think it has to be a fat L. Dude.
It's like what
all they finish like 12,
factors in, bro. It's like that's why they're in a walking L, because these bonehead morons decided not to actually reinforce the squad after having the best finish, quite literally in their history,
and take advantage of European. Like, come on, dude. It's Champions League. It's not like they made Europa League or some shit.
Especially after UEFA let it go, right? Like there was rumors that probably wouldn't even play in Champions League because of City, and like they got a chance to play, and bro, you do nothing with it. Nah,
fat
L.
I kind of think D. I'm kind of with Michael a little bit here. The story is a fat L from Champions League to 1 point save, but the context I feel like protects them a little bit here because the team is really bad, like so bad. If you did a Girona Las Palmas combined 11, there's probably more Las Palmas players in there. Like that's how terrible the situation is.
I don't know. It's still
a
City group. Like
I'll give it to you guys. But yeah, I still think like this is I don't know, a cautionary tale for any club. Like this is an example you point to in a negative way that you like, hey, any other club out there, bro, don't do this. It's a fat fucking
especially because of the City group. Like what is the point then of having that,
I don't know.
Leadership?
Well, look at what they did with their league on site, Troyes. They got relegated to the third division. They don't give a shit. It's all about just helping out Manchester City. Feeding City, exactly.
Fucking annoying, dude.
It's annoying, and I feel bad for Girona fan.
So then maybe on the field they were a D, but off the field, fat L. Like, can we agree on that?
Even Savinho would be shouting, "Fat L, boys, fat L."
Yeah,
1000%.
Completely agree.
1000%. It's like, guys,
bro, they got Miovski and Stuani as
let's not blame the players.
Duo, man.
Let's not blame the players.
Stuani is 38 years old. Basically, Stuani kept them up. That's what I want to say right here. He kept them up.
This is not an indictment of the players on the team currently. It's the fact that they were left with nothing. These mans got pillaged hard, and we just decided, fuck it. Let's just go out there with this.
Do you guys think they're screwed for next season, though?
If they don't spend 80 mil, yeah.
Yeah.
I did see a link of Chino Huerta going there.
Really?
He would
Yeah.
start immediately.
He would start immediately.
Immediately.
That would
he
be,
start.
and it would be big for the league too.
And if I'm
Yeah.
Chino Huerta, actually, it's obviously a great city to just go
Yeah,
play your ball in, bro. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Way better
100%.
than Belgium.
I think he's made for La Liga too.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
I think he'd be really. And
But they're
Michel's
going to need
system-
more than Chino Huerta to stay
Yes.
on.
Oh, for
I'll
sure.
say
He's
that
not
right now.
saving Girona by himself. There's no
No
way.
way.
There's no way. I like Chino, but he's not saving their asses.
No way.
That'd be
No.
a good move for
I
him.
mean, damn.
100%.
They need an entirely new midfield.
Yeah.
Like maybe Yankel can stay, but dude, get in another 8 here, or get some
wait,
semblance of a
You
cam.
don't rate Arthur, bro. You don't rate Arthur. That's just
I
me?
don't rate
You
Arthur.
can't have Daily Blind in your fucking starting 11, dude. Like,
Bro,
come on.
Asprilla looks like. I mean, he's promising, but he is an insanely raw prospect. Like
Yeah,
he's
he
not
very
even
raw.
close.
He's
to
not ready.
finish.
He's not ready. Yeah.
Not even close.
No.
He should be getting like 20 minutes at the end of the game, not be their focal point in the attack. Like it's
Yep.
just, yeah. Michel's
Yeah,
got
that's a fair
nothing,
point.
man.
That's
Okay.
a fair point.
I think we've spoken about them enough, but I think they are a team that must have a good summer. If they do not have a good summer, Troyes, here we go.
Yeah.
They're cooked.
They're cooked.
Okay. Las Palmas. I think it's a fat L, man.
Yeah. Has to
So-
be.
Really?
Yes, dude.
They're good enough to have not gone down.
I completely agree. You couldn't have gotten 1 more point, 2 more points. Come on.
How much do you factor?
Yeah,
So here's the difference between Girona and Las Palmas for me is sometimes the individual moments and individual results. I can't think of an individual result you can highlight from Girona's standpoint. Las Palmas has a couple.
Is that enough to save them and put them in D?
For a team like that, I mean, look, they're relegated,
No.
sure. I don't think it's enough. I
They
would.
got ballers, dude.
Yeah,
They got
you gotta
some
stay in the
good
league.
players, man.
With that squad, you have to stay in the league.
we got to almost define the difference between D and L. I'm trying, I guess, now to like figure out like how what
Expectations?
context- yeah, expectations, I guess. But
Yeah.
I
where
think
did you
for
guys
Las
have Las
Palmas,
Palmas coming into the season? What was the
16,
expectation?
17, 18.
Yeah,
In and
then
around the
you-
You had
relegation
them
battle.
staying up. You had them staying up.
relegation battle.
I wouldn't really know.
I mean, you're right there though. But with the players that you have, that changes your outlook
Yeah,
and your perspective in going into the season.
Let me draw this comparison. I thought that the 3 worst teams in the division were Valladolid, Leganes, and Alaves.
Agreed.
I think Las Palmas have a better roster than Alaves. And where did Alaves finish?
oh, true.
They finished 42 points, 15th place. There's no way that Las Palmas could not have finished with, like, that was not unfathomable
yeah.
to finish in 15th for them.
Yep.
So I think Alaves, maybe we even bumped them to B. I don't know. But like that team's not good and they stayed safe. Meanwhile, Las Palmas, a lot of teams would be like, can we trade for your attacking players, please? Because y'all got some good players up here.
Yeah.
Now the defense is not great. Who's the McKenna as the center back? Like
Oh,
the
Scott
defense
McKenna.
is kind of
Trash.
diabolical. Kind of diabolical.
Fire
But I
kids
think
too,
it's a
though.
fat L.
Fire kids.
Picked up points
Fat L,
against
then.
the big teams too. I think it's a fat L. I'm
Fat L.
sorry. Fire kids. We're gonna miss
Fire
those
kids,
fire
bro.
kids next season, man.
Yeah, we are.
Fire kids.
Almost makes it worse.
Yeah.
Facts, bro.
Okay. Leganes is a weird one.
It is.
I honestly think C. I can't lie.
Okay. I don't think it's a
'Cause
fat L.
I don't. No. They were competitive for most of this season. Compared to Valladolid and Las Palmas, Leganes, they were a tough team to beat. And they had some high-scoring, crazy games. I think their expectation was to get relegated, be like 17 through 18. But the way they fought, they could have easily survived on that final match day if it wasn't for Las Palmas bottling it against Espanol. I think it's a C for Leganes. I think they'll be back up soon again.
I think this is like the flip of Las Palmas. That would actually be a better comparison, right? Like with a shit ass roster, they were 1 point away from being saved. So yeah, I
And
agree
think
with that.
about it. Their big money signing, Sebastian Haller,
Yeah.
did nothing and
Nothing.
was gone by January.
Right.
And
If he got them some
Leganes
goals,
can't
he could have survived them.
Yeah.
True.
Dude, if Sebastian Haller even was half of what Budimir was for Osasuna this year, Leganes are finishing like 12th.
Dude, Marko Dimitrovic. Come on.
I feel bad. Is he going to go
Shouts for the boy. Shouts for the
join
boy.
another La Liga team?
Probably.
I thought
Probably
him and
one of the
Tapia
sides that
were
get
good.
promoted, like Levante or Mirandes.
Yeah, Levante, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of those teams.
could
I
see
think
that.
they come back. I think they come back immediately next year. Like
Yeah.
they're dude, and also we're talking about the cups a little bit as well. They were moments away from maybe beating Real Madrid in the penalty
Forgot about
shootout
that.
and going to the semifinal
Forgot about that.
of the
Yeah.
Copa.
It's a good shot.
They
Yeah.
beat Atleti.
Oh.
They beat Barca. Did they beat Madrid in the regular season?
Maybe.
Oh, no, I don't think they did.
Maybe.
I think Madrid did the double over them.
Really?
Okay,
I'll never
I can
forget
try to
that L
remember.
against
I think-
Barca, bro.
Maybe they were up against us at the Bernabeu and then we came back.
They won it the Montjuic, so that was more remarkable
Bro,
result
who
there.
Yeah,
fucking
that's
hasn't,
fair.
man. I'm so over that stadium. Get back to the camp now, man.
Dude,
Shit's a jinx, bro.
But yeah, I would go C for
Yeah,
Leganes.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
I think
I think they were
next.
competitive. Yep.
Yeah.
Hashtag Dimitrovic,
Hashtag Dimitrovic too. Cult hero.
Cole hero.
Jose would take him at Barca.
Hey, no bullshit, man. Hey, if Tech doesn't come back, give me Dimitrovic, bro. 100%.
Damn.
Mallorca's a weird one, man. If we're going entertainment value, it might be a D.
Oh, God.
But
I just have to
terms
say,
of-
thank God they did not qualify to Europe. Thank God.
Why?
Because they would have done nothing. Their style of football will not correlate well to European football at all. They would have been a horrific watch.
Nah, man.
So
Give
C?
me Mohican in a conference league match. 100%, bro. 100%. Give me.
Well, he could just
Muriqi.
ball it out in the streets of Tallinn in Estonia. This is what we're doing right now.
Give me Muriki's men.
Give me
bun in
Sergi
Europa.
Darder 100% against whatever Polish team or whoever is going to be lining up against him, bro. I don't know, man.
they could have made the
Mallorca's
knockouts.
weird. They're just a weird team. Like
Mhm.
they can be good. They're just perfectly mid, though. When you think about the consistency they have, because they have none, zero consistency.
Didn't they make the Copa del Rey final last year?
Yeah, they did.
Mhm.
Yep.
Shouts to my boy Javier Aguirre.
Remember seeing all the videos of Pablo Maffeo's like grandparents
Oh,
and what
yeah,
it meant
yeah.
to them and shit like that. And like then you have this season, and it's just I don't know,
Mhm.
man. I feel like we're gonna get this from Mallorca. And keep in mind, contextually for this club, this is still a W.
Yes.
Like,
oh,
like
yeah.
finishing
They
10th
finished
place
like
is still a W.
16th or some shit last year.
Yeah,
Like,
it's still a W.
Well, yeah, because they were also focusing on the Copa del Rey. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
They did get knocked out by a third division team in the Copa del Rey round of 32. Pontevedra beat them 3-0.
jeez.
3-0.
Just an off day.
Were they
That day,
rotated?
yeah.
I'm trying to
That day, yeah.
fish for an excuse here. Were they rotated?
Yeah, we
Let
can.
me check. All right, let's go to VAR here. Let me see. I better not see one goddamn.
I'm just trying to find a reason here.
Okay, to be fair, it was kind of rotated because Takumi Asano actually started, and that man is a fraud. But still, dude, you can't lose 3-0 away in the round of 32, dog.
No.
Yeah.
That's
I would still
kinda
say
rough.
C.
Let's go C. Let's just
Yeah.
go
Yep.
C. Yeah, it's not.
I think so.
It's goddamn Mallorca, man. Come on.
Yeah, I think so.
God. Look at this
Osasuna?
fucking ranking,
Ooh,
dude.
this one's
Also, is
interesting,
also
bro.
C for me.
I don't know, man.
Just the league overall. C. Mid as fuck. It's
No,
gonna be
but some teams
12
just did
teams on
what
C.
they were supposed to do.
No, yeah, I agree.
Like there's C. Okay, there's got to be levels to this C tier. Then, like I don't know. Osasuna to me is ahead of Mallorca. I would
Yeah.
put them. They're actually decently high up in the C list. Then, like for me, they're clear of like every.
The last three.
Atleti being there now feels off. It now feels off to me.
You
Okay,
can put
so
them
do we
all
put
the
that
way to the front.
Osasuna at B?
You
Like a
can't
B
put
minus?
Osasuna to B. If they had beaten Rayo for the Conference League spot, they are a B.
Yeah.
Because they
I
made the
agree.
quarterfinals of the Copa. They beat Athletic Club in the Copa.
Yeah.
But you just so they overperformed in the Copa, but then I don't know if they underperformed by letting Rayo get there, but it was right there for them and they
Yeah.
didn't. So I think it's a C. I do think it's another
All right.
C.
But I agree with Jose though. They have to be like in the middle of the pack, like better than Espanol, Leganes, and Mallorca, but maybe not.
Yeah,
better than
probably.
Atleti, Alaves.
Better than Atleti?
Oof.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Not
Atleti
for,
has to
well,
be-
No,
it's just-
behind Atleti.
it depends on how
Behind
much you
Atleti.
factor in
Yeah.
the expectations, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
I'd say
that's
they're
fair.
behind.
Bro, Rayo's a B. They got to
Yeah.
Oh,
Europe.
yeah.
Yeah,
First time ever to
Second
B.
time ever. Second time ever.
love that.
Second
They
time
look-
ever?
Also
they look
fire
good.
kids. Also fire kids.
They made it to the
Oh,
UEFA
yeah,
Cup
okay.
in the early 2000s.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right. Second time ever. It's pretty good. Had some good
European
games
football at the
against Madrid at
Vallecas.
home.
Cannot wait.
Do they reinforce this season? This offseason? I don't know.
I think they're in a tricky situation because what I read is that their ownership is not the greatest. So I feel like Vallecano are just going to struggle next season a lot trying to balance the both of them. But for this season, they played some entertaining football, but they don't have a lot of goal scorers. That's the one thing they're kind of missing in their team. If they could get a striker to get them goals, they could be a dangerous outfit in the European competitions. But the fact that they qualify for Europe, I think it's a B plus, even A for me.
You taking a shot with my boy Bebe? Just kidding. He's not.
Oh my god, please no.
They also might lose some players too.
Yeah, they're probably going to lose Raziu, the right back, quality player.
That man's gone.
He should be going. He's gone. He's such a good player.
Bro, look, I bring him to Barca, bro. 100%. I take him.
Everybody go to Barca. Everybody.
He doesn't want to go to Barca, dude.
Hey, big club vibes, Michael. Big club vibes. Big club vibes, bro. Say it with me.
Levers. Say it with me. Levers.
Hey, listen. We don't. And no more levers needed now. I don't know how much money we.
Stay with me. Travis Scott money.
Travis Scott money.
I was like, hey, 3 trophies.
Sold their soul.
Ain't broke no more.
It's insane.
So what do we think then for Vallecano then in the Conference League next season? Do we think they can do something, or it's going to be extremely difficult?
I would hope they're like Betis. Maybe
gotta
not
do what Betis did. No, look, that's
follow
the
model. Yes, thank you. It's a blueprint.
That's the blueprint. They went out and signed Anthony. They went out and signed Cucho. You got to go.
They're way worse than Betis, though. Betis have quality.
Yeah, but they have to sign somebody this summer. We're assuming that it's going to happen. Yes.
Fine.
My worry for them is they're going to be like Osasuna from like 2-3 seasons ago and losing the qualifying round for Conference League and don't even qualify. That's what I'm kind of fearing for Vallecano, because you don't directly qualify to the competition yet.
You got to go through.
Everybody has to go through the qualifying. Yep.
Or do we think they go all eggs one basket and they say fuck it, like Europe is going to be like we're going to be pushing for Europe and we're going to finish 16th. Like,
I mean, that would be sick though.
Spurs method.
Another Spurs. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Could be. It's all about transfers. It's all about transfers this summer. If they stay with the same roster.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Spurs were always a top 3 favorite for the Europa League, though. I don't know everybody going to the Conference League. I struggle to believe Rayo are a top 3 favorite for that competition. I think if they made the quarterfinals, that would be pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
even they come up
a great season for them,
Antwerp or something. I'm like, this isn't going to end well. Like, I think they're in trouble. I'm serious.
No, that's fair.
Or Bologna. I don't even know where those guys finished, but RIP Rayo if they got to play Bologna.
Yeah. It'll be a good game. They're not going to walk all over. They're not going to dog.
They lose a lot. They lose a lot.
And the Vallecas is not as like it used to be a fortress, dude. Like teams were scared to go in there.
I think it still is. I think it's a weird season. I'll be honest. Like if you're like if Espanol coming into your own house and smacking the shit out of you 4-0, I don't see that happening multiple seasons in a row. I just don't.
Okay, for the sake of time, let's move on to Madrid.
C.
Y'all,
no trophies.
C? It is not a C. Are you serious?
No trophies. That's the expectation, dude. We have to win one.
Again, hey Jack, 97% favorite to win the league.
It's borderline fat L, dude. Are you serious?
Nah, come on, dude. It's not that bad, dude. We made.
You signed Mbappe.
We were 5 minutes away from winning the Copa del Rey. Blah 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 blah. We finished second in La Liga.
You got murdered in the El Clasico 4 times.
We have 7 defenders.
You got murdered by Arsenal.
7 defenders in the hospital.
Murdered by Declan Wright.
But Mikel Marino's playing striker, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You need extra time to beat Leganes. You let Sociedad score 4 goals in a game.
That's actually crazy.
Who's playing in our back line, Jose? Like, come on.
Hey, yo, chill, bro, chill.
Dude, it can't be C. That's unbelievable.
I would go D.
I was going to say fat L. I was going to say D. Based on the expectation. I was going to say
I'll give you a D. I'll give you a D. That's fine.
But the expectation was the best team in Europe. That was the expectation.
Somebody played
also add some context. They lost their 2 starting defenders in September. Carvajal and Eder Militao.
Tired of talking about it.
But it's still were pillaged, and we put them as fat L.
Yeah, no. I know. That's why I still would go with D for Madrid. They still finished top 4, and they made it to the final of the Copa del Rey. They made it to the quarterfinal, at least to the Champions League, even though they lost Arsenal. I would go D. Borderline fat L though.
Yeah, but let's not give them too many concessions. At the end of the day,
no.
Put the injuries aside. Too many players played like shit this season. At the end of the day, Benny wasn't good. Rodrigo wasn't good. Jude was a shell of himself.
Jude was mid.
Yeah. It's just yes, I understand the injuries piece, but there's plenty of teams who just find a way to make it work with the next man up mentality. I still think a team as good as Madrid definitely should have outperformed.
Without the Pichichi, yeah, for sure, Final. But dude,
even then, like I don't know, man. You guys were supposed to absolutely dunk on everyone. This was supposed to be KD joining the Warriors, and like it just wasn't. You know,
with an asterisk. If we have dude, even if we lose 1 or 2 defenders, we lost 6 defenders. Like, come on.
Yeah, but even in the beginning of the season, it wasn't looking good before the defenders went out.
No, that's fair. I mean,
like the continuity in the team just didn't look.
There was no like strategy at all. Like,
it's crazy that your best
favorites.
wingers this season, like even statistically, were like Brahim Diaz and Arda Güler. Like,
yeah.
The guys that everyone knows to be world beaters
players.
just didn't show up.
No, that's fair. But it's a D. It's not
so I would go D. Are we going there?
Same. Yeah. D. We need somebody in there.
Anyway. I'm keeping it Fat L. I'm sorry, but you guys can go D. I'm outvoted. I'm outvoted. It's fine. We'll go D.
Out of here.
All right. Speaking of Fat L's, why don't you just drag Sociedad straight into that Fat L, man? Biggest frauds in La Liga,
way at the bottom too. There we go.
They need to overhaul this roster.
Next to Girona.
I think this roster's cooked.
Oh no, it's done.
Absolutely embarrassing.
Alguacil leaving. They're done.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, they might.
Zuma needs to leave. Kubo needs to leave.
I feel bad for
Bryce Mendes needs to leave. Like everybody's gone. Dip.
I feel bad for Arsabal, dude. He's a baller.
They need to go back to the Basque Country.
You know what? From scratch. Hey, Orizabal, come to Athletic Club. Don't worry, buddy. Come
imagine. Nah.
Can you imagine? That would be worse than
pulls a fucking Inigo. He pulls an Inigo back
to private security.
Wait, I think his contract is up this summer, or is it next summer?
Bulletproof truck.
No, contract is up next summer. Hey, Orizabal, you want UCL football, buddy?
Bro, there's no way this man goes to score goals this San Mamés. If he does, if he goes full Indigo, I'm going to laugh hysterically at that.
Oh, Orizabal in the false line with Inaki on the right and hopefully Nico on the left. Sunset. Yeah, we're winning the Champions League, guys. We're winning the Champions League.
Michael said, I have a dream.
That team would cook. That team would
cook. We are cooking. We would cook. But anyways,
this is just more reinforcement. Wow. Fat L.
Terrible.
It's either Athletic Club or Al Hilal for Oyarzabal.
I think it is. Al Ali. Here we go.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning.
I'm really fascinated to see what they do manager-wise. And did you guys see Alguacil? He was talking about that their club should go with the motto of Athletic Club and just having Basque players as well. Yes, so there's clearly a lot of tension with Real Sociedad at the moment, and all their players leaving. I think it's scary hours for them.
Yeah. This could be like, I know this is funny because we've drawn this comparison with other clubs previously where we talked about Valencia being like Everton the last couple seasons, where it's like, are they going to stay up? But I feel like Sociedad now has kind of snatched the baton from Valencia as the big team where they could genuinely lose their 7 best players. I don't even know who stay. I think Aramburu will stay because he's young and it's just his first season. So I think he will stay. Sergio Gomez.
Yeah,
Oscarson. Dude, but Oscarson's going to be the man next year.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's enough.
They got to follow. Look, bro, I'm telling you, Aguacil actually has a good point. Look at what happened. I mean, I know Andre made the joke earlier about levers, but that's so true. Like, look, when that didn't work for Barca, what did they have to do because they had no other choice? I think I heard Chess Fabregas talk about this in an interview. It's like the kids happened to work out for them, but that's where they should have gone to begin with. It's like it means more to them. They're from the area, right? They're Catalan through and through for the most part, coming up in La Masia, and you don't have to teach them anything about the style of play. Like it's all built in at the academy level. So it's like the lowest hanging fruit you have for the first team anyway. And when you're so lost at a first team level, it's like you could just turn to your roots, your identity to restore the passion amongst the fan base, the style of play, the identity that you guys should have at the team level. So I don't know, man. To me, Sociedad has to do that. I say you get rid of everybody who doesn't have the passion to bleed for the badge right now and start over in that region. Try to start recruiting that way again. I don't know, man. I think it's a good shout. I think it's a really good shout.
I mean, what's a success for Sociedad next season? 10th?
Mid-table, yeah.
Yep. Mission, don't get relegated. That's the mission.
Bro, just awful. Like, it's terrible.
Bad.
I mean, and speaking of awful, we have Sevilla next, which let's just put them next to them at
They're terrible, bro. They somehow got worse. How the fuck did they get worse? Like,
I'm telling you right now, hot take right here. They're getting relegated next season.
Bro, ain't no way.
It's gonna be like
there's a way.
They're financially screwed. They have like 100 million in debt, They're
No,
screwed.
but this is like one of those
It's
teams
an
that's just
institution,
too
dude.
culturally relevant to go down.
It's like
bro.
Everton.
You
But
can't.
look at there's so much tension with it. Look at the fans waited for them to return from an away game like 2 weeks ago, and were threatened to go into their academy center. Like, this is such a tension-filled moment right now for Sevilla, and they have no players where I'm like, look at Bakio, you can go, buddy. I don't look at
Yeah.
anybody else on their team. I'm like, yes, they can really galvanize. I look at their academy. Like, Real Betis are producing ballers. What baller is Sevilla producing right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I
Nothing.
actually rate the left back Pedrosa a little bit. I think up top Beke has like moments here and there to help out Luka Bacchio, but like it's weird, man. You watch this team and it's like they're in games sometimes. Like it's not like this team is absolutely shit from top to bottom. Like I'll watch them. Their fan base is super passionate still. They're showing up. They're packing out Sevilla versus Alaves. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I see what Michael's saying. Like they're still waiting at the rafters to hold this team accountable. But at the same time, it's like they still have a good foundation. They just
Yeah.
got to figure out a way to like be smarter with who they bring up. I don't know.
Mhm.
They're in these games because they don't attack. They're in these games because they have parked the bus
They
to
just sit.
survive because they realize,
Yeah.
dude, they don't have anything in the midfield. Like
Nothing.
Saul Niguez was their best midfielder this season, who was deemed not good enough for Atleti 2 years ago. And he's the puppet master for this Sevilla midfield. And I think his loan is ended, and Atleti, we don't want him. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. Honestly, that'd be a great pickup for like Las Palmas. That'd be a phenomenal signing if they could keep him in La Bay. It's going to be tough, but I digress. If Luka Bacchio goes, oh my
Or
God.
Bade, the center back, if he goes,
Bade's a good player. I think Juan Lu, if he could be more progressive and play more as a midfielder, they would have more help. He's a good right back that pushes up.
I just really struggle to see how they're going to improve with the financials restrictions they got right now. I really struggle.
And their ownership panics a lot. How many managers did they have this season? They fire you after like 2 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They want you
it's
to
bad
perform
right now
miracles,
for them.
and if you can't, then it's over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alguacil to Sevilla? Is that how they
Ooh.
stay up?
Damn.
You know what?
You
It's
know
not
what?
a crazy
I-
shout. It's
That's
not a
not-
crazy
yeah.
shout.
I was thinking Bordalés to Sevilla.
If he's gonna have to take a pay cut to leave Getafe.
Fuck it, bro. Bring Coca in. I've seen enough. Bring Coca in, bro.
What's the worst that could happen, dude?
I've seen enough, bro.
That
I've
was
seen
the-
enough.
was
I've
the
seen
worst
that,
that
bro.
could happen.
Juan Carlos Osorio,
Worst
get him
that
in
could
here right now.
Bro, I'm just saying. They're throwing crazy names out there.
You know what?
Hey,
You know
wait
what?
for
Let's
that
just
rumor.
let's just go with Jorge Sampaoli.
No.
2.0.
Yeah. Legend.
We're not doing
Legend.
that. No.
Hey, yo.
Legend.
Let's buy out Greg Berhalter's contract with Chicago.
Nah, bro,
Get
could
him
you
in here to
imagine?
Sevilla.
That would be worse than Neville coaching Valencia. Like that would actually be like shameful. I can't
That's-
even imagine.
yeah.
Like that man trying to coach Sevilla. Holy shit.
I will actually have a hate watch every weekend for whichever team he manages.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Nah,
league.
Triple G's not coming to La Liga. Let's be
It's
real.
not coming-
He wouldn't
it's not
have
gonna
with any of these players.
No, the
Any
league
of
is
these players.
cooked if that appointment is made.
Yep.
No shot. Fresh kicks though. I love his shoe game is fire.
Fresh to death.
Yeah, good.
Bring back Lopetegui. Okay, Valencia.
Mm.
Are we
Pretty good. Pretty good.
are we going B?
It got better.
I would
Pretty
go B.
It got better.
Ball knowledge, boys.
I'm going B. I think B is good.
Bottom of
For
B
them.
though.
Bro,
bottom
they
of
were
B,
dog
yeah.
shit in the beginning, and we all, even before the season
They were-
started, none of us had them like higher than like 15.
Yeah.
Nope.
Turn it around.
And they reinforced
It-
that opinion regularly for like the first 3 or 4 months. Like it was pretty bad. Like I still go back to like them drawing to what national team did they play? Was it Mexico?
Yeah.
In Mexico, yeah,
Unfortunately.
away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. We made Hugo
Except the
Duro look
children.
fucking, yeah. We made Hugo Duro look like Prime Morientes, dude, in that game. Holy shit.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a really weird up and down season, but hey, you'll take it as a Valencia fan, bro. At this point, 12, not bad.
It's just like you want to believe that they're going to get better next season, but you can't trust that ownership.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. Because they got ballers. Mama Disvili also leaving, so I think for Valencia,
Umar
Oh.
Sadiq, shout outs.
Omar Sadiq. Oh my god. Oh yeah.
God.
I think for Valencia it was a really good season, especially the second half.
How
Yeah,
long
look
does
at the
Hey,
form.
real question though? How long does Hugo Duro stay there? That's the bigger
Oh,
question.
one more season. One more season.
Mhm.
You think? I don't know, man.
Where's he gonna go?
He's 25. It might be 25, right? Isn't he like in mid 20s? At this point, you
Yeah.
got to start making some moves for your career personally. Like if this is not working out, you got to start really asking yourself hard questions in the offseason. Like if
I could see him
Valencia
going
doesn't
anywhere.
show him something.
But who's gonna get him though? Like who wants Hugo Duro?
I was
Nobody's
thinking like
signing him.
somebody like Frankfurt when they got Champions League football. I could see Hugo Duro at Frankfurt.
Bro, I mean,
don't know
Michael
why.
would take him at Bilbao yesterday.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, but that's a unique situation. I kind of feel like he's just going to be not just going to be, but a Iago Aspas guy, where Poirot from Espanol, where he's just going to stay there, be the talisman or one of the faces of the team for 10 years. I don't really see a Hugo Duro market like, God, we got to get this man in here. He's a
Yeah, I
game
agree.
changer. He's a solid La Liga striker. I don't think there's a market.
He's not Basque, right?
It doesn't sound Basque.
Yeah.
Doesn't
he's
sound
not.
Basque.
Hugo Duro sounds, yeah.
Let me search.
Pretty
I'm
Castellano.
saying,
to me. I
yeah,
don't know.
Bilbao's up, but he does upgrade some teams that are fighting for Europe. 1,000%.
He's born in Getafe.
Okay. It's a great signing for like Rayo. If they could get Hugo Duro in this offseason, big.
Nah, the club would go bankrupt if they tried to sign Hugo Duro.
Damn,
Yeah.
bro. That's
He's
crazy.
stuck. I think he's stuck.
He's stuck. Yeah, he's stuck.
Bro, he basically called it a poverty club on Lengua
Okay.
Liga. That's fucking wild.
So, I mean, shout out to Vallecano, but they don't have the money.
Damn,
They just
dude.
don't.
That's fair. That's fair.
No.
All right, Valladolid.
I got nothing to say.
Honestly, I think it's a fat L, guys. They are
Yeah.
the second worst team ever in La Liga history,
That's
statistically.
I'm trying to
They were relegated by January.
Coca for anything that happened there. So just saying.
I
not
blame
blame that.
solely on R9. This is
R9,
all his
dude.
fault.
yeah.
I think he sold out today. Did you guys see that?
No,
Yeah,
I didn't see
yesterday.
that.
Yep. He's gone. They sold it for 50 million.
Damn.
Bro, he just abandoned ship. Said fuck it.
Of course.
No
Take my money and
responsibility.
run.
Yeah,
Going to
yes.
Brazil. That's what he's doing.
Love that.
That would be a
Terrible
great video,
team,
by
man.
the way. Just saying, buying or selling stocks and teams. Just saying.
Nah, they were absolutely dog shit. And we saw
Yeah.
Granada and Almeria last season. I don't think we could have seen anything worse. But Valladolid said, hold my beer, 16 points. How many goals did they concede? Like 90, I want to say? 85
Dude,
to
they lost
90?
30 games. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think that's the most ever
90
in La
goals,
Liga's
yeah.
history.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
Granada lost 25 last
16
season.
points.
Bro, they regularly dropped just absolute disaster classes. Like how many times they lose by at least 5 goals? Like it was insane, bro.
They were terrible.
Where-
We got to grab that stat.
Where do they finish in La Liga B next season, though?
Depends what the new ownership does. I
They ain't
don't
going
think they're
back
going
up.
to do well.
They ain't going
Osnus,
back up.
he's on loan from Bayern. Yeah, I think they're going to be
Mid-table?
mid-table.
Damn. Back-to-back relegations, though?
No,
Jeez.
They pull a
there's too many dead teams in Segunda.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
And
a
it's
bad
deep,
look for
too.
Segunda if they come back up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
bad
completely
luck.
agree. There's 22 teams in that league. It's deep.
Yep.
So
Nah, Valladolid were
I don't
terrible.
know.
Jesus
mid-table,
Christ.
mid-table
Terrible,
next
bro.
year.
I mean, they were predicted to relegated, but for how poor they were, just
Yeah.
get out of here.
Yeah.
No fight. No
No
fight
fight.
at all.
Fire kits too, though.
Fire kits. We're losing some great kits this
Las
season.
Palmas,
It's
Valladolid.
devastating. I like Leganes' white kit. I think
Leganes
it's
is cool
pretty clean.
too. Yeah.
Okay. Villarreal.
Yeah. Right behind Barca.
Oh, we're going.
Oof.
Okay.
Oof.
Right
Oof.
behind Barca. Brother, they finished outside of Europe. They made fantastic signings in the market. They
Mm.
finished now in a European spot, and I'll say probably one of the most exciting attacks you can watch in La Liga by far.
Yeah, I'm cool with A. They put respect on the league this season.
Facts.
Sure.
I think they
Let's
do it
do it.
again. They do it again in Europe next season. I think.
We'll do it for the hipsters.
Nah.
71 goals scored.
Yeah, that's pretty
I just want to say they lost to a 4th division team in the Copa del Rey. Because I remember I was like, they didn't go far, but they did lose to a 4th division team.
that's bad.
In the round of
That's bad.
64, right? They didn't even get to the
Something
round of
like that.
32.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, round
Really bad.
So
second round.
A
Yeah.
minus, B plus.
I just think
A
the
minus.
gap between them and Betis is still pretty substantial in the league, though.
Yeah,
Better
but
than
Betis
Celta?
kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Hold on.
They had more to
How many
juggle.
wins
Betis had
did
more to
they
juggle.
get?
There's that context.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like the gap between them. I mean, bro, it's a double-digit gap in the league. So, and you look at where both teams started respectively in the same spot last season. They made better moves. Well, better moves is maybe like you could go back and forth on that. Spent less money, and I think I don't know, man. Just seemed to work it all perfectly out with Marcelinho too. So I don't know. I think it worked well. I would have
probably
them
have
above,
the
but
best transfer market of anybody.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. By
Easily.
far.
How much they spend total? Do you think? Put a round number on it.
Well, you mean last summer?
Yeah, but before this season, like how much they spend? It wasn't as much as Betis.
45.
I think
50
no,
tops.
not
Yeah.
that much.
I thought it was like 30.
Really?
Logan Costa was 20 mil.
And Barry was about like 12 or 13, I think, from Switzerland. And then Ios was
So
4
30,
million.
35?
35, I would say.
It's pretty good, man.
Check.
Pretty fucking good. Like name me another Champions League team around Europe who's spending that kind of money and they're getting that kind of production.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm looking at how they did against the big boys this season. They did beat Betis. Did they beat them twice? No, but they did beat Betis once. Did they do it twice?
Barca.
Yeah, when you guys had won the league, though, it's kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
No, they
So
split
they
it
did-
with Betis.
They spent 63 million.
Oh shit. Okay. So it was more than I
Yeah.
thought.
Logan Costa was 18. Barry was 14. Luis Jr., the goalkeeper, 12. Kambwala from Manchester United, 10. Ayoze, 4. And then Kunde, 4. Tejon Buchanan, loan fee, 1 million.
That 1 million actually stands out as the next.
I mean, to be fair, though, they got rid of
That'd be
Jorgensen, who went to Chelsea, and he cost 24 million. So great
Yeah.
business once again by
That's
Big
cool.
If you want to
Brother.
get
They just,
if you want to get that net business, net business looks pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's pretty good.
yeah, they made profit.
You could say that against the big teams, they weren't great. They drew Atleti twice. That was like by far their best record. Lost to Real Madrid twice. Lost to Athletic Club and then drew. So just 1 point against them. Split it with Betis. Yes, they beat Barcelona, but again, like you guys had already won the league. So
Still a good game
I
though.
think
It was a hell of a game.
it was a great game, but I think it's just a little bit difficult to put as much stock in that. But overall, I think A is great. They were my favorite team to watch this season. In La Liga.
They also finished with 53 points last year, 70 this year. So big
Massive
improvement.
step up. That's what you want to
Marcelino.
see in the market. Yeah.
Absolutely,
We talked about Atleti earlier, just literally being net neutral, and you want to see that big jump in points.
Yeah. Marcelino, Coach of the Year nominee, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Did
Almost
great
like,
stuff.
like maybe
Okay.
that's another one too. Like we could talk about managers at some point. Is like Pellegrini to me is up there too. Pellegrini's swag is also hitting a new unreachable levels. I'm being honest. That track's on fire, bro.
That track's
We'll
in
never
fire.
It goes hard, bro. I was like, God damn, man. The
Also-
aura, holy shit.
The brand, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Oh, Kappa, yeah.
Kappa's fucking fire.
Kappa just gets different.
Dude,
Yeah, Betis playing a different game than everybody else.
100%.
Please win on Wednesday. Please, Betis.
That would be fucking massive, dude.
Please.
Massive.
To save La Liga. Yep.
Literally.
Save
Like, look at
Save
the
La Liga.
look at the rankings right now. What does that say about the league overall?
La Liga needs a European trophy this season. Fuck
Thank
this
you.
shit. Betis has to win it, bro.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
Only one team in D, huh?
Any final movements we would make, but now looking at the table,
yeah.
the whole tier list. Any corrections you guys would make?
I would put Las Palmas on D, to be honest.
D?
Yeah.
Dude.
I think
And
Palmas and Girona, there's the argument for D for both of them.
yeah.
It's just like I don't know. Their teams weren't that great. So I kind of agree with Mike. Like there's some context there where it's like considering the expectation, they weren't.
It's not like Las Palmas were dog shit or anything. I thought they were competitive. They just got unlucky in a couple of games, especially conceding late on in some crucial matches. But if you guys want to put them fat out, that's fine with me. That's the
Okay,
only
if we
team that
have
makes
to, we have to be benevolent and bump one of them up to D. Which one are we doing? Girona or
Las Palmas, dude. Las Palmas.
Oh, Las
Palmas.
Palmas.
Las Palmas.
All right, let's bump them up then.
Yeah.
Let's Palmas up to D.
Girona, I can't think of honestly one single video we did over the course of 10 months that we're like, you know what? Girona didn't play half bad today. You know, it actually wasn't that bad today. Nah, bro, they were fucking bad.
They were terrible, dude. All I remember is the one Athletic Club game where there was 4 penalties. That's like the only one that I remember at the beginning of the year. And it was like downhill from then.
We should have known. We should have known. We should have
Also,
known.
what does it say about the league that the worst team that we have ranked in terms of expectations is Real Sociedad, dude? Like, they're bottom of Fat L.
I think it was a really competitive league this season, in all honesty. You could say it was mid, but also you could look at teams like Valencia, Rayo, Osasuna. Like, on their day, they can beat any side in La Liga.
Yeah.
We saw Osasuna beat Barcelona. We saw Valencia be competitive. So Real Sociedad underperformed, but that's because of where they were the previous season and the players they have. Whereas other teams, I think, kind of overperformed a little bit.
Also, let's not pretend like La Liga in Europe, like La Liga teams in Europe didn't perform. Like Barcelona lost, one of the greatest games I've ever seen in my life against Inter. Athletic should have made that final. Like, let's just forget about the Man United, whatever.
Yeah. The first leg of the tone for that whole fucking tie. It was the first leg that set the tone. Once the red card came in, I think
100%. I agree. But what I'm saying is, though, Spanish teams were right there. And if Betis win on Wednesday, like, that should be massive for the league.
I agree.
You need a little bit of luck in Europe, and it didn't 100%. Go the way for La Liga this season, so might go next season.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and most importantly, I think like this year, I agree with Michael said in terms of like it being like people will say it was mid if you didn't watch the season all the way through, but there were like legitimately crazy battles all across the table in La Liga. There was like the top 3 super competitive all the way until like March, April, and I can't even think when that's happened. In the last 2, 3, maybe even 2 or 3 seasons, where all 3 teams and including Bilbao in there were just like fighting for who was going to set the tone. But the title race wasn't just the big 2. And then you look at the relegation battle. You look at who ended up making it into European spots in general, bro. There were stories all over the place, man.
6-point difference between 18th and 11th. Like, that's how tight it was.
Yeah. Look at this, bro. The goals that shifted on, well, technically it's not decision day, right? There were games yesterday, and there's still a game to be played today here in like half an hour. But like the shift in Espanol between Espanol, Leganes, and who was the other one that was shifting up and down quite a bit? Was Girona? I can't remember who it was.
Sevilla were right there.
But as goals were being scored on Saturday, like the whole bottom half of the table was shifting up and down. Like again, that's what you want. You don't want the last day of the league to be.
To not matter.
Yeah.
By the way, that's some utter woke nonsense. Keep all the games on at the same time.
Yeah, agreed. Like Championship Sunday.
Yeah. Yep. I just want to see all the mayhem.
Yeah. I do think it's a good thing for La Liga that it wasn't a Premier League situation where it was very obvious by November, I would even argue, which teams were going down and just could not be competitive with the other top teams.
Yeah.
Like we had Valladolid, but Alaves spent a lot of time down there. I mean, Sevilla almost got there. Leganes would come out, then they go
Valencia.
down.
Las Palmas was there forever.
Las Palmas were in like 14th at one point, and then they lost like 6 games in a row, maybe even more. It was really bad. So everybody was competitive.
Yeah, and equally, Sevilla was like 10th or 12th until like April, and then literally had such a crazy downward slide that they almost got relegated. So there's just a lot of up and down, man. Like a closer season this year than a lot of others.
Agreed.
Yeah, we'll have to record our predictions and some hot takes for next La Liga season sometime soon. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and end the episode there. You can see our tier lists. In A, we got Barca, Betis, Villarreal, and Celta de Vigo. I like that. In the B tier, Athletic Club, Rayo, and Valencia. In the C tier, Getafe, Alaves, Atleti, Osasuna, Espanol, Leganes, and Mallorca. In the D tier, we have Real Madrid and Las Palmas. And Fat L is Real Valladolid, Girona, Sevilla, and Sociedad. If there's any of those designations you guys disagree with, you think we were harsh, maybe you think we were too nice, let us know down below in the comments. If you're listening on streaming platforms, make sure you give the podcast a 5-star rating. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed. If you like La Liga content, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. Follow myself and my co-hosts on social media. Everything will be in the description of this video. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see y'all in the next one.